Hi, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 2023 money and career reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. So, thank you so very much for doing so. Let's see what the cards have to say. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Ooh, I love that. Okay, you're crowned with the Hierophant. You then have the Death card, which is Scorpio energy. This is also Taurus energy coming forward, angels and spirit guides. We then have the Magician reversed. Okay, angels and spirit guides show me clearly. The Eight of Pentacles, guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. The the Five of Pentacles, angels and spirit guides show me clearly. And the moon reverse. Okay, so what's very interesting is you have a lot of heavy hitting energy coming forward during this time. You have the Hierophant coming through, which means that you're a little bit more traditional during this time. That's going to be very important to you. You don't want to reinvent the wheel. What you want to see is how you can take what's already working and modify it and make it work for you. Make it work for you better. So what Spirit always shows me with the Hierophant is like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, but did you know that it took so long, like thousands of years, for people to be like, oh man, you don't need to make the wheel out of stone. You can make it out of wood. And then that revolutionized everything. So the wheel was revolutionary, but then making it out of wood was also revolutionary. So you're taking something that already exists, like a platform that already is, or a way that already is, and you are having it work for you, which is going to be super, super, super important. Also, if you have Taurus energy in your chart, if you have Scorpio energy in your chart or in your lives, these are going to be people that you get on really well with during this time. You're looking at things very differently than you have looked at them before. And there's a sense here of a transformation, a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new, a real sense of insight, a real sense of ideas. There is also the sense of needing to connect with spirit. And this can be something that we find a little bit tricky, right? Tapping into our magic, seeing our worth, seeing our value, saying, oh, this is where I need to be for me. This is what I really value. This is what I desire. And we're having a bit of trouble during this time, Aquarius, calling that in. And why is that? Because we're going to see that, yeah, we're really hardworking, but there's almost a mentality around us that even if I work really hard, even if I do, what's going to happen is that there's always going to be this bit of lack. There's a poverty mentality that is coming forward that's like, okay, this is going to hold me back. Now, it can be how we were raised. We could have been raised around money issues. It could be that we've had things happen that were traumatic, that had really big setbacks in our lives. Whatever it is, there's this fear that we're starting to let go of and we're starting to release ourselves from of, I don't get to make it. I don't get to be successful. That gets to be for other people. But for me, right here, right now, it's always going to be a bit of that struggle. It's always going to be a bit of that chaos. Being mindful about this and also knowing that we are incredibly hardworking, diligent, determined. We can see the finer details of things in a way that others will just overlook it. They won't be focusing. They won't be really showing up. We will be showing up 110%. What we have to be mindful of, not worried about, but mindful of, is that we'll undersell ourselves. We'll be able to bring a lot to the table and be like, oh, well, I don't want to be greedy. Or, oh, well, I don't know if that's a really good idea. Others will know it and they'll see how it's able to incorporate. And we ourselves will be like, oh, well, who knows, right? We're going to be a little bit, I just see a little bit meeker, a little bit more passive, a little bit more unsure. And somebody will take advantage of that as we're moving forward. So do be mindful about this. Okay. Now, before we dive deeper, let's clear the energy space because you guys know I love my singing bowl. Let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. Oh, and before we clear the energy space, know that if you want a private reading, if you want a private reading, there's my website, daneharttarot.com. You can totally go and check out private readings, private personalized meditations and healings. But also, if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a snowman in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on the 1st of January in a completely separate video. It will be its own video. It will probably have a snowman in the thumbnail. So look out for that. And then the instructions there and everything will be in that video. So don't be scammed by anybody contacting you saying, hooray, pretending to be me. They are not me. So watch out for that video. Like, pay attention because that's where the real good stuff will be. Okay. So now let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see here, Aquarius, what message is Spirit telling us? When we have all this going on, what is Spirit saying? Hey, you know what, Aquarius, focus here, look here, connect with this. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. It's this one right here. And this is blessed reversed. It is letting us feel. So that sounds maybe a little bit silly to say, or of course, Dane, I would let myself feel. But when we're blessed reversed, there's a sense of, I don't feel blessed, right? I don't feel happy. I don't feel connected. I don't feel like I'm moving forward the way that I want to, or the way that I need to, or the way that I plan to. So there's looking at things and we're already a little bit sad. And then we're going to get mad at ourselves because we're going to say, oh my gosh, look at how much worse you can have it. Like, look at everything else that's going on. I should remember that I'm blessed. And so we're not letting ourselves fully feel the frustration or the aggravation or whatever it is. It's not to dive deep into it, but it's to acknowledge, okay, I'm frustrated. And then when we're frustrated, it's then moving into, okay, how do I move so that I can let my magic show. I can see my power. I can see my prosperity. I don't feel stuck. I don't feel overwhelmed. This could be reaching out. We might need to reach out to a friend. We might need to talk to a therapist or see a doctor or, whatever it is, to be able to have to be able not to be so sad all the time. And that's going to be important. It might not be all the time, but I do know for somebody listening here, it feels like all the time. It's like, okay, there's just this like weight that sits on my chest. And we might need to reach out for help. There's never anything wrong with that. Okay, so don't let somebody guilt you and be like, oh, what are you, just weak? You're not weak. I mean, please, they can go and, sit on the rock, right? You're not weak at all. Actually, it's quite the opposite. You are astoundingly strong. Let's see what our chakra energy is for this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is psychic development. So, of course, you're feeling everything so much more intensely. This is your psychic development. This is your intuition development. This is your empathic development. This is the third eye opening. And you're seeing yourself being able to move forward with so much more tenacity, so much more, grit and gumption. You have a sixth sense to things. And this can be very hard to translate into our world. We have very certain things that we value, very certain things that we see as successful, and very certain things that we see as prosperous, bountiful, and other things that we think, oh, that's weak or that's silly. And so here with the third eye chakra opening up to our psychic development, it's like, oh no, there's power here. There's power that isn't usually talked about. There's power that people don't usually see. And I get to step into it. I get to be a part of this. And it moves us then to the energy that we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. And it's the 9 of Wands. We need to be mindful that we're tired of being on the defensive. We need to be mindful that we're tired of feeling overwhelmed. Like it's been one battle after another, and we're letting go of this, like that sense of, I want to fight, or I need to defend myself. But what it can leave us feeling is just battered and bruised. So Spirit is saying here, hey, be mindful. Be mindful that we are releasing that battle energy that has been around us for a really long time. And that might leave a bit of a hole. That might leave a bit of a sense of like, well, what the heck do I do now? I've been fighting this battle for like 18 million years. How do I move forward now? And it can just be the battle of seeking others' approval. It can be, more intricate battles that we can sit there and say, oh, okay, this happened, this year, and it listed till this year, and this year till this year. Sometimes our battles are much more linear and much more easy to see. But Spirit is saying here, hey, you know what? Be mindful, because we're tired of fighting this. And when we let it go, there can be this hole that needs to be filled with chaos. So we might go actually seeking out other battles that we don't want to fight to begin with. With the Strength card, very strong Taurus energy. It's a time frame of April 20th to May 20th. Now, if you have Taurus in your chart, or if you have Tauruses in your life, they come through very strongly during this time. You might not like the Tauruses you have in your life, just to be real. Like, sometimes we don't like the people that we get some of the best lessons from, or some of the best knowledge from. But this is a sense of really connecting. So I don't see that being true for many of you, Aquarius, but I do want it to be noted, because there's somebody here who's like, oh man, that Taurus. But there is very powerful knowledge coming forward. Again, this isn't saying that you're going to carve out completely your own place, your own space, like being one of those artists who discovered how to capture light, or discovered how to capture, movement in the way that they did. You don't have to go through all that trial and error and chaos. There is a sense here, though, of making something your own, like taking it, being able to copy it up to a certain point, and then making it your own, discovering, having tremendous insight. And that is going to be very, very powerful for you. You're also going to be rather traditional during this time. Whatever tradition looks like for you, that is going to be a very powerful thing. It's like, okay, I want it like this, or I want it to look like this, or it needs to be like that. And that's just going to be how this time is. So respecting that within yourself is going to be able to lead you forward. You want to, especially during the holidays, you might find yourself gravitating towards certain traditions that you had growing up. And that's just going to bring a heck of a lot of comfort. And it's going to make you more successful. When we talk about money, when we talk about career, the Taurus energy is a highly successful energy. Okay. This also means that your ability to manifest, your ability to visualize, which is what manifestation is, visualize what it is that you want, and have that visualization be so clear in your mind that whether consciously or subconsciously, you start actively working towards bringing it into your universe. That is going to be one of your main skills during this time. So be mindful about what the mind is saying. So you can see your hard work and think, oh, my hard work will never lead to prosperity. Or you can see your hard work and see here with the Hierophant that my hard work always leads to prosperity. That's going to be the difference. That's going to be one of the major choices that we make. We might not see the instant return on our investment right now, and that's okay. Our investment is us, and we're going to be here for a while, connecting and conveying and moving forward and embracing what we love and what we want, and, finding our path. So don't think, oh, if it doesn't happen right now, it's never going to happen. Spirit's time is very different than our time. So we have to show ourselves that grace and that kindness. With the Death card, the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, you're approaching things quite different during this time, and that's going to be a really good thing for you. This is Scorpio energy, a time frame of October 23rd to November 21st. There is a sense here of transformation, of insight. You are connecting with spirit in a way that you haven't before. Again, psychic development is coming up. So that's going to be a game changer for you. You're looking at things and saying, how do I need to move forward? And what do I want? What is changing here? And there's going to be a very specific and very powerful change coming forward. Acknowledging it is going to be half the battle, because we're going to think, oh no, it has to be just like this, or it has to be just like that. And Spirit is saying, hey, push down the barriers and see where it takes you. Connecting with Spirit, though, connecting with our psychic, empathic, intuitive energy, that sixth sense energy, is going to be something that changes the game for us. Listening to our gut, but also connecting with our angels, connecting with our spirit guides, focusing ourselves, grounding ourselves, centering ourselves. That is going to give us more knowledge, more insight, and it's going to heighten our ability to visualize and move ourselves forward. With the Magician reversed, this is a time where we can feel a little bit shaky, okay? So acknowledging that and saying, I get it, I see it. I might be shaky here, or I might be doubtful there, but I'm not going to let it stop me. I'm not going to let fear engulf me, take me over, and, run amok in my life. Because the Magician is standing before the altar of our existence saying, you know what, this is my prosperity and this is my success. I love this card. I love all the little mushrooms on the bottom, and how he's, picking his holly and getting everything all ready, and has all the gifts right here. And that's the thing. We have all these gifts right here in the basket, all the gifts that make up the tarot, the swords and the wands and the pentacles and the cups, which here, of course, is translated into a holiday theme, but we're not seeing it. Or we think, you know what, I used that up. I had that once upon a time. It might have been for a fleeting moment, but success never gets to be mine. It always gets to be a struggle. And I've lost that again. So now we're back at square one, or we're back at zero. And so Spirit is saying here, be very mindful and be very aware that you need to step into your magic. You need to step into yourself. There's also somebody here, or you're listening to something that very much diminishes what you are really good at. And as it diminishes what you're good at, you are diminishing your light. You're hiding your light under a bushel. And that's just not cool. You need to let yourself shine. You need to say, this is my radiance, this is my power, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is how I'm moving forward for myself. And really standing again before the altar of your existence and saying, I was born with these gifts and I get to let them shine. I get to let me shine. And that's a lot of what we're working very hard towards during this time. We're not shying away from hard work, and we're not shying away from success from hard work. But we also have a mindset that I have to work super, super hard, like super, super exhausting to be able to make it. And yeah, we have to work hard, and we can say hustle if that's what we want to say. But I also get to enjoy my life. Look at what you want. Look at the details of what you want. And even sitting with the magician, but also with Spirit, with the Scorpio energy, it's like, what do I really want? Because you are so connected to your higher self right now, to your life purpose, to the reason why you're here on this earth type of thing, life purpose, that if you sat quietly and said, what do I want? The answer will come forward very, very, very quickly, and very like a ringing bell, kind of like, well, that did it work? But like that chiming forward of the singing bowl. But if you don't stop and listen, it's like you're putting the stopper in the singing bowl. It's like it'll stop the bells chime. It will stop the clarity of the answer that is coming forward. So being aware of this is going to be a game changer. Okay? Sitting there and saying, it can be hard. Like what I do will need my time and investment of my time. But it doesn't need to feel like climbing Mount Everest. It just doesn't. And so here with the 8 of Pentacles, it's our hard work, it's our dedication, it's seeing our talents, it's embracing our talents, and then it's incorporating that into our day-to-day life, to our prosperity and to our success. And we might find that, okay, I am more successful if I give myself time to do what I really love, because it's letting my energy shine. It's letting me shine. It's moving me forward in the most exquisite way. So here with the 8 of Pentacles, we can also be workaholics during this time and completely miss the holidays, completely miss what we've been looking forward to. And that can lead us to the 5 of Pentacles, which is that poverty mentality that says, you always knew it was going to be this hard, right? And whenever you get success, you have to be worried because it always gets pulled out from underneath you. So many of us are raised with this energy. We're raised with arguing around money. We're raised with chaos around finances, or we, hook up with somebody in our lives. We connect with a partner or a person, and they have these trauma dramas, and we wound up, seeping them into our existence and ourselves. And it just keeps on perpetuating trauma and chaos, trauma and chaos. And this is a very easy, low energy vibration to get pulled into. It's very hard. No, it is very hard to break it and come to the realization, come out of that crucible and say, okay, you know what? I am so empowered. I am so determined. I am so focused. I make it. I make it. And we might say, okay, I'm going to invest this amount of hours, this amount of time. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it well. And I am getting there. And this can be from anything from being, a lawyer to being, in retail to, working in hospitality or, being a doctor or running your own business. You can see yourself in any place and you can still have a poverty mentality. Like, I'm always going to work this hard, but I never have enough money. I never have what it is that I need. Now, this can also be that we're overextending ourselves, right? We're always going to have to work so hard to create nice things, but to just have that debt of the nice things drowning us. So here, we might have to make some really clear decisions on what we want and what we're willing to work for and what we're not willing to work for. What I want to pay for in my life and what is actually robbing me of my time and my pleasure and my beauty of existence. So being aware of this is going to be super, super, super important, because I do see us making having some big revelations during this time to say, this is what I want though. This is my life. This is my, even if there is reincarnation, right? This is my shot on earth that I am remembering fully and absolutely and completely right here, right now. And then it moves us to the moon. And a lot of our fears are coming forward from this life, from past lives, and making us think, can I? Can I do this? A lot of the shadows are coming in. Instead of seeing there's beauty within the shadows, there's an understanding of light from the shadows. We see there's shadows, so there's fear, or there's freeze, or there's flight. Our response to anxiety and chaos: fight, flight, or freeze. This is also Pisces energy, which might not be the best energy for us at this time. If we're born on the cusp with Pisces, this can be awkward, or we have Pisces in our chart. But this is really saying here, hey, listen, fear is real. We see it. We understand it. It's what fuels our poverty mentality. Those words that come forward, or that doubt that comes forward that says, you yourself never gets to make it. How come people have enough money to send themselves into space, but we can't have enough money to pay our bills? That is so aggravating to me. Okay. And it really makes me mad. But here with the moon, it's like it's looking at the fears that we have and it's acknowledging them, giving voice to them. It's not breathing them into existence, but it's saying, I spoke you, so I have power over you. I spoke this, so I see it, and I'm done with it. The moon is beautiful. The moon is beautiful, but it brings the shadows and it brings fear. We can't see clearly at night. And, it's like a little kid, right? We want to sleep with the nightlight on. We want to have the fears illuminated. And so here, let's illuminate our fears. It's around poverty. It's around not being enough. It's around imposter syndrome. It's around, I will have to work like a dog day in and day out to just get a little bit ahead. And that's just going to be so much. So we have this fear around not getting to where we want to be. But here's the thing. You have the most exquisite work ethic during this time, and you have the most exquisite insight and talent. Start working on your manifestation. Start really saying what it is that you want and have that connection with spirit, your angels, your soul, like your deep drive, and start seeing your worth. The poverty mentality, everybody needs a good, redemption story. Yes, but it's like hero story. It's like Rocky, right? You need to be able to make it against the odds type of thing. And our fears, they're always going to be there. But whether they get to be whispers that we swat away like mosquitoes, or raging lions that are chasing us, that's how we handle them. And that's how we embrace our fears. Our subconscious spirit message is wish. And spirit is saying subconsciously, I'm listening to your wishes. And what do you wish for? Make it good. Make it good. Okay, Aquarius, you are the wish. You are the star card in the major arcana. You are the wish. And so here, it's making those wishes. It's putting them out into the world. It's connecting, and it's seeing your power forward. Because our wishes are just like manifestation. Then we have the Earth Star Chakra located 6 inches below our feet. This is Mother Earth. We need to touch ground. I mean, it's very important with Taurus energy crowning us as well, Earth side energy. But we need to connect with Mother Earth. We need to say, what is it that I need to be cocooned in? How is it that I need to move forward? How is it that I'm connecting with the Earth? Our subconscious energy to be mindful of, that was a good one. It's the Eight of Swords. Be mindful of worry, doubt, and fear, and chaos. Be mindful of staying in your own mind. And if you've been here before, I'm going to bring up Miss Havisham in Great Expectations, where she got jilted at the altar. She got left at the altar. So what does the woman do? Instead of saying, you know what, it happened, I'm not living in that moment anymore, she spends her rest of her very long life living in her wedding dress until it consumes her in flames. If you haven't read the book, sorry for spoiling it, but I mean, that's ridiculous. And yet we all know people who are like that, who have the hurt, the pain, the humiliation, the disappointment that they live in for the rest of their lives. Don't do that. Don't do that. It happened. Yes, it could be awful. It was like humiliating, terrible, all those things. Do not let it be the defining factor of who you are. You're so much more than that. But our mind, it plays tricks on us, and it keeps us there. Our subconscious tarot message is the Page of Swords. We are becoming students of our mind and of our voice. We're really saying, what is it that I want? Where is it that I want to be? What is it that's important to me? We're working these things out, and we can be thinking, oh my gosh, that's so silly, right? Especially since we're air sign energy, right, Aquarius? So we're coming to this as a child, like we're coming to this with child energy, child insight. And Spirit is saying here, first of all, subconsciously connect with your inner child, connect with your inner dreams, connect with what was the most important thing to you when you were small and Christmas trees were tall. Look at what you desire and what you want. And then as you connect with that inner child, connect with the purity of that voice. Because your voice, your wit, your way of connection, that's going to be one of the most important things that you bring to the table during this time. And you don't even realize that because it's all subconscious. All right. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. And tell me what you think of this new setup. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless and happy holidays. Bye.